Heartbreak kids were not mine. The apartment smelled of chamomile tea and yesterday's takeout, a faint undercurrent of her lavender shampoo clinging to the air like an afterthought. I stirred my coffee black, no sugar, watching the steam curl up in lazy spirals toward the exposed ductwork ceiling. Polished concrete floors gleamed under the recessed LEDs, neon accents from the skyline bleeding through floor-to-ceiling windows. Modern urban nest, our nest. She'd chosen it all, the kind of place that screamed curated life on Instagram feeds. I nodded along back then, content in the subtle rhythm we'd built. Subtle fondness, that's what it was. Weary observation creeping in like frost on a window pane. Her name was Lena. 5 years married, 3 kids in the mix, twins at 7, the little one barely 4. Phase 1, the meet cute at that rooftop bar in Williamsburg, her laugh cutting through the baseline thrum, my hand steady on her waist as we swayed to some indie track neither of us knew. Phase 2, the courthouse wedding, her in a sundress, me in chinos, rings exchanged under a magnolia tree heavy with spring bloom. Phase 3, the pregnancies back-to-back, her body swelling with promise while I bankrolled the nursery renos, cribs like modern sculptures, walls painted in soft greige. I played the part, provider, anchor. The equation balanced, her emotional labor for my steady orbit. Mornings were ritual. I'd wake to the patter of small feet, the twins tumbling into our bed like human wrecking balls, the toddler gurgling from her crib monitor. Pancakes on weekends, my hands dusted in flour, her photographing the chaos for the gram. Family goals, the comments read. Ironic that we'd collapse at night, her head on my chest, whispering about soccer leagues and college funds. The weight of her performance and my complicity, it felt solid, unyielding. A performance. No, not then, just life grinding forward. Cracks appeared slowly. First, the late nights at her consulting gig. Graphic design, she said, freelance for startups in Flatiron. I'd heat up leftovers, the microwave's mechanical motion a metronome to my evenings alone. Texts stuck in edits, love you, I'd reply no worries, kids asleep, subtle fondness fraying at the edges, then the doctor's visits, fertility check for me routine, she insisted after the third, maybe next time. Clean bill, hers, skipped details. Trust the equation, I told myself, variables don't lie. It escalated on a Tuesday. Rain-slick streets outside, the city a blurred watercolor of tail lights and umbrellas. I came home early, project wrapped, boss cut me loose at 4, the apartment hummed with absence. No kids chatter, no Lena's playlist on the Sonos. A note on the fridge, playdate extended, back late, Zoxo, vacuum of silence. I poured a scotch neat and scrolled her phone, left charging on the counter, passcode still my birthday. Harmless curiosity, that's the lie we tell ourselves. Messages first. Him miss that constellation of cold droplets on your skin after the shower. Last night was fire. Her SHH, he's clueless, kids think you're Superman, laughter emoji, my thumb froze, scrolled up, months of it, hotel bookings in Midtown, consulting trips to Jersey, then emails, paternity labs, 3 tests, 1 for each kid, results attached, 0% match, all 3 kids were not mine. Cold analytical clarity snapped in like a scalpel's edge. Heart rate steady, no roar in my ears, just the rain pattering against glass, a relentless Morse code. Flashback montage unspooled, her hand on my knee at the twins' first ultrasound, the gel-smeared screen flickering life, the toddler's first steps toward me, arms outstretched, calling Dada in that milky voice, school drop-offs, my tie straightened by tiny fingers. Irony layered thick, me, the stand-in father, logging overtime for braces and ballet slippers. Just saving you from a fate worse than death, I joked once about her exes. Deadpan, now it echoed hollow. I stood up, the chair didn't scrape. Mechanical motion carried me to the bedroom. Closet doors parted like stage curtains, her side half empty, his hoodies mixed in with my button-downs, juxtaposition of betrayal. I sat on the bed, phone in hand, replaying the texts. Repetition for emphasis, clueless, clueless, clueless. The equation unraveled, relational facades stripped bare, hers a masterclass in emotional labor outsourced to me, mine a quiet rebellion brewing in the vacuum of sound. Phase 4, confrontation, but not rage-fueled. No, clinical detachment like a surgeon after a successful operation. I texted her, come home now, we need to talk, no emojis, no love. She replied minutes later, on my way, kids with sitter. Door buzzed at 8:47 p.m. She entered, damp coat shedding droplets like tears she wouldn't cry, eyes wide with rehearsed innocence. What's wrong, babe? Handed her the phone, open to the lab results, her face polished, mask cracking. It's not, I was going to tell you. Lie, the air thickened, chamomile scent turning sour, short, punchy sentences now tension coiling. When silence, who more silence? All 3, she nodded, tears spilling, performance. I listed it out, phased precision. Phase 1, twins conceived on our honeymoon, no. Phase 2, the toddler during my promotion trip, his. Dry humor undercut, family goals indeed. She crumpled, please tumbled, love me still, they're yours in every way that matters, he means nothing. Emotional labor flipped, now hers to beg, mine to dissect. Metaphor crystallized, our marriage a high-wire act, me the safety net catching nothing but air. Sensory immersion slowed time, the neon skyline pulsing like a migraine, her perfume cloying, the rain a steady hiss. I felt the weary observation harden, no fondness left, just the weight of years, my complicity in the charade. Rapid hyperfocus climax, pack your things, she gasped. The kids, not mine, punchy final, she argued, voice rising in pitch-perfect hysteria. I walked to the kitchen, pulled out the lease, my name only, bank statements showing my deposits alone. Logical disentanglement step by step. Step 1, change the locks. App on my phone, locksmith en route. Step 2, lawyer consult 9 a.m. tomorrow. Prenup ironclad, her contributions minimal. Step 3, custody, none. Biology trumps bonds, courts say. Her screams echoed. Vacuum of silence followed as she grabbed a bag, sobbing, montages of our life flashing in her eyes, not mine. Door slammed, gone, I poured another scotch. Rain eased to drizzle, city lights sharpening into crystalline points. Aftermath methodical, text to sitter, pick up kids tomorrow, Lena won't be there. Bank app, transfers frozen. Email to HR, paternity leave unused, refund pending, bed unmade, her side avoid. I stripped the sheets, mechanical motion, bagged them for trash. Sensory purge, no lavender ghosts. Night deepened, introspection flowed long now unhurried. We'd built a facade, all right, hers of fidelity, mine of paternal devotion. Rebellion quiet, I'd loved them fiercely, fed them, read bedtime stories under star-projected ceilings, but truth severed it clean, no mess, cold clarity prevailed, repetition, not mine, not mine, not mine. Humor deadpan, Superman grounded, cape folded away. Morning broke gray, coffee brewing same as always. Lawyer confirmed, divorce papers drafted by noon. Apartment staged for showing, minimalist chic, no traces of chaos. Kids' rooms cleared, toys donated, walls repainted stark white. Forward momentum. I walked the polished concrete, steps echoing freer. Urban pulse outside, horns blaring, pedestrians in hurried constellations. My orbit solo now. Peaceful absence settled, no weight of performance, no complicity, just the skyline, neon accents winking promise. Phase 5 reinvention, gym at dawn, new projects stacking, dates later, for now the vacuum of silence hummed content. Equation reset to one variable, me, steady, clear, moving. Word count 1247.